And their souls were left resting as they gathered up the crowd.
The Gabby Young experience is all-encompassing. There's art exhibitions, there's pop-up shops. If you go to a gig, that is, there's a lot going on. If you're listening to the music and you're not at an actual show, I'd like to think that you get your own experiences from that as well. Hopefully visual, and you get your own imagination rolling with it, and hopefully it will inspire you. So yeah, there's quite a lot to it. I was training to be an opera singer when I was like 18, and I discovered Jeff Buckley, and that changed my whole world of music into I was very inspired by the way that his voice just went and did whatever it wanted to, and it was so controlled but at the same time free, and I loved that. So that was a huge, huge influence of mine. And then people like Joni Mitchell and Bob Dylan, and hearing them play guitar and writing their own songs, that really influenced where I went from there. And I don't know, I've got loads of influences all over the place, like the jazz world, from you know, Ella Fitzgerald to Nina Simone and Louis Prima. I absolutely love him. So I wanted to sing from like as early as I can remember. I always wanted to do music. I started playing violin when I was about 6, and I think when I was 11 I started learning, having singing lessons as well, and straight away my singing teacher was like, right, you're doing a concert. So I guess I was alright. And the moment I started doing that, I realised that was what I wanted to do. We did 15 festivals this summer, which was so big for us, because festivals are something I've always wanted to do, like since I started doing music, but it's a hard world to get into. It's kind of a closed book, and suddenly this year we found ourselves being invited to them, so we've definitely come a long way. But Glastonbury, like, I was terrified, because it's the one place that I've wanted to play for so long, and you know, everyone you say I play Glastonbury to, and it's suddenly like, oh, maybe you take this more seriously than I thought. So I was very scared, and also we realised that I didn't bring the trombone about 2 hours before the performance, so the trombone player didn't have one to play, so we had to run around the whole site trying to find a trombone. So yeah, it was a bit manic, but the actual playing part was amazing, really cool. We did a gig in Holland to 3,000 people. We'd never been abroad before as a band, so that was amazing to suddenly have this huge audience, and they were all like singing and clapping along and going absolutely mad, and it was quite it was such a surreal experience. We all came off stage and like burst out crying. So yeah, that was amazing. That's been my highlight, I think. But there's loads that's happened. I did a singing course. I went away to America for a long time. I did lots of kind of open mics all around the country. Went around with my guitar and just drove around like a penniless singer-songwriter for ages, until I started getting a band together, and that's where it's gone from here, I guess. I kind of basically added each member depending on what I was writing at the time. So I'd start writing trumpet lines and realising I needed a trumpet player. Or, you know, the bass lines I kind of thought they'd sound better on the double bass than an electric bass. So a lot changed kind of organically to what I was writing at the time, and what was kind of inspiring the move for new musicians. And, you know, like I really wanted banjo in one of my tracks, so we got someone to play banjo, and yeah, so that's how it worked. Well, I got asked last time who was my favourite of my band, which is not an easy question to answer, but luckily I have my boyfriend in my band, so I can be biased there and they won't mind. But yeah, I normally get asked things like, you know, what's the worst thing you've done and stuff, and I don't really want to tell anyone. So I gloss over those and change the subject very quickly. I like being asked about the kind of the visual element of what we do and the fashion element, and I love it when I know that the interviewer has actually listened to our music and has taken something from it. That's when it gets really exciting for me. Well, What's next? Well, we've got the rest of the UK tour. We've got a really big show in London where we've got the whole of the album lineup. We've got strings and brass joining us, and it's going to be about 20 of us on stage, which is going to be brilliant. And that's on the 20th of November at the Tabernacle. And then we're doing a show on Radio 4 in December. And I don't know, there's lots of stuff. Next year is amazing. We've got a European tour happening in April. We're going to South by Southwest in March. So yeah, it's exciting. There's a lot going on.
And their souls were left resting as they gathered up the crowd.